Hello friends, myself Vikas Shakya and from today onwards I am going to start a new playlist and in this playlist I am going to discuss about the entity framework. Although I have created a playlist for the same, that is for the entity framework, but that playlist is basically in some other language, that is in Hindi. That's my mother tongue. So that I have created earlier in Hindi, but I wanted that I should also create in the English as well, right? So that it should reach to the maximum people. Okay. So from today onwards, I will start discussing about the entity framework and all those videos which will be available in Hindi language in other playlist. The same will be available in English in this playlist, right? Contents I would like to tell you that most of the contents I will try to keep the same, but if there is any difference then I will surely try to make a new video in in the other language, right? So if I have covered something else in English language, then I will try to cover that in Hindi language as well in the other playlist. I will add some new video, right? So let's start this one from today. So before we dive into the entity framework, let's understand what is the basic concept of entity set and relationships. Okay. So before I go much deeper into the entity and entity set, I would like to tell you that I'm not going to tell you all the details about the entity and entity sets and relationships. I will do all these things on the fly as we will move along with the presentations, with the new videos. I will try to cover the concept as they come. But I would like to suggest you guys that before you start looking into these videos, you should get a fair idea, not much fair idea, but it's still a basic idea, not that much fair, but you should get a fair idea. But for understanding these videos and entities, you should get a preliminary idea about the entity relationship diagrams that you used to study during your college days. The ER diagrams. What are they? What are entities? What are entity sets? What are the constraints in the entity set? Right? What are the values? What are the attributes? What are the multi-valued attributes? What are the single valued attributes? So all those things you must need to just brush up yourself, right? Because this is not a database class, so I'm not going to tell much about the entity relationship diagrams. But yes, on a basic note, I would like to tell you that when we talk about the entity, then any table, suppose this is my database, and in this database I have my test DB, and this is a table with name student datas, right? So I'm going to run a query here on this table. Select asterisk from student datas. This is SQL Server. So here you can see that these are the records. Each individual record, like this record, this is an entity because this can be uniquely identified in a table, right? So any row, any particular row in a table, and that table should have a primary key, right? So that in that kind of table, if a record has been stored, then any particular row represents one entity. Like this row represents one student. This John Parker is an entity, right? But when we talk about this entire table, student data, then what is this? This is entity set, right? Table is always an entity set, and the number of records, each record in the table, they are independent entities in itself, right? So this is the basic concept, and as soon as we will move forward with the demo, I will try to cover more concepts related to the entities, right? So let's start one demo. I will just use the entity framework in this application. I will create just a simple web application where I will use the entity framework to display the data on my web page. I will fetch the data from the database using the entity framework. And for that, entity framework has three models. There are three ways you can use the entity framework. I will cover today the first mode, right? The first way is the first method of using the entity framework is to use the database schema, the table schema, the schema which has been already created, like student data is a schema. This has already been created. So if a student schema or any schema for that matter is available there in your database, then how you can create an entity in your local application, that I am going to discuss, and then how you can fetch the data using that entity and this database, that I will discuss today. Okay, and this model is known as this way, and this method of getting the data and fetching the data is known as the schema first approach, right? So today we are going to discuss about the schema first approach to get the data from the database and update the data in the database. But today we are not going to discuss about the update. In coming lectures, I will just try to first cover how to fetch the data, how to display the data, and then we will discuss how to insert new records and how to update the records. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about schema first. So for this, I'm going to create ASP.NET Web application in C#, do next, and web app entity schema first. This is the name of my application that I'm going to create. Create an empty application. Leave everything as default. Whatever value was there, by default, leave them as it is. Okay, so this is the empty application which has been generated, and the default files have been generated. So first of all, I just need to add a reference, new item, go to data and select this one, ADO.NET Entity Data Model, right? So this one becomes available only when you have entity framework installed on your system. Okay, so how you will install that? Basically, there is a manage NuGet packages. There is an option, NuGet packages. So when you open the NuGet packages, you can browse for the entity framework. Right, so entity framework is there. I have already installed it, right? So that's why I don't need to install it. But if you have not installed it, if you don't have entity framework on your system, you just need to select this one and install it. Once you install it, this will be already added to your application. The reference will be already automatically will be added to your application. Okay, so I already have updated this one, like I have already installed this entity framework on my system, so I don't need to again install it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to right click on it. I'm just going to add a new item and go to the data, select the ADO.NET Entity Data Model, and here give the name student data model or entity, right? So just add it, and from here you just need to select EF designer from database, right? So we are going to design our entities. We are going to find our entities using the database tables. So we will select this one, EF designer from database. Next, and a new dialog will appear, and here you can go like to check the connection properties. It is asking for the server name, so you can just give a dot. Dot represents the current database server, which means that the machine where I'm sitting, the same machine is also the database server. And here you can select the my test DB. In this database, I have created my table student data, so I have selected this one. Just do a test connection. Test connection is succeeded, so we are fine. Just click OK, do an OK here, and here you can see that this is a new variable declared here, my test DB entities. I just want to give a meaningful name here, student data DB entity. Okay. So what is the significance of this one? This will be used as a connection string. You know that using a connection string, your applications try to connect to the database, try to fetch the records from the database. So this will be the unique identifier for the connection string, and this will be updated in web.config. I will show you. I'm using Entity Framework 5.0 here. Just do a next, and here you will be able to see the tables. Here you can see the student data table is available. You can just select this one and just do a finish. As soon as you will finish this, you will be able to see an entity, and that entity will be inherited from the table that will be created using the database table, right? So whatever record, whatever columns are there in the database, whatever attributes are there in the database for that particular entity, though all those entities will be available here in this entity, in the local entity, right? So let me show you. It's taking some time. So once this will be available, you will be able to see that. This is a bit slow. Okay, so here you can see that student ID, student name, STD address, course. All these things are available inside this table. These are the columns. These are basically the attributes of this table, student data. And the same attributes have been created here for the student data for the local entity. Okay, before that, before I move further, I just need to show you the web.config. In this web.config, you can see the name of the connection string. I just told you that whatever name you will give there, that will be the unique identifier for the connection string, and here all are the connection string attributes, right? So database name should be there, all the basic things are there, so you can check it yourself. Data source and data catalog name and integrated security, all these things are there. Integrated security, here it is true, which means that the application will use the same security attributes that are applicable to the person who has logged on to this machine, right? So default security attributes, like I'm an administrator, right? So the default attributes, default security attributes of the administrator will be applicable to this application, this web application, right? So web.config I have shown you, and now just let me show you few of things which are important. You can see this .tt class, student data entity .context.tt. Let me remind you that I am using Visual Studio 2019. If you use Visual Studio 2008, 10, 12, 15, then you will not be able to see this TT file. This TT file is available in your 2019 version, right? So here I can show you, like in this TT file contains all the logic which will be getting the data from the database table using this connection string which has been mentioned in web.config, right? So this TT file, if you want to understand, you can go through it, you can understand like what does this mean and how it will fetch the data. All the logic has been written here, right? But that logic is written for you. You don't have to worry about that how it is working. It will just fetch the data for you. You just need to set your data source, that I am getting the data using this data source, that is the student data at DB entity, using this connection string. You just need to provide this entity name and you are done, right? So how you will do that? For that, let me just add a new form, a new web form. Just go to the new item and go to the web and just click on the web form and just write the name web demo form and just add it. Okay, after adding it, you need to add some controls here. I am going to show the data on the form, on the web form, using a grid view. So I'm just going to double click on it and grid view will be added to this form. Okay, so not just the grid view, but you also need to configure the data source for this grid view, so that this grid view should know that from where I am going to fetch the data, where I am going to get the data. Grid view itself will not fetch the data. All the logic will be executed by these TT and all these CS files which have been generated. Right, this student data entity dot TT has also been generated. Right, so using these TT files, all the logic will be executed, and you just need to see the data on the web page. You don't need to change any content in this file. Right, as of now, you don't need to change any of the things. Just go to this web form, web demo form, and now just add this entity framework, entity data source. Right, so this entity data source need to connect to this web.config, this student data db entity. How that will be connected, let us see. This is my form. Let's go to the design mode, and you will be able to see the grid view. Just decorate the grid view. So I'm going to use the classic view or simple professional. Which one is looking good? Brown sugar, no. Snowy, mocha, no. It should be classic. Let's make it classic. And now we just need to update this entity data source. We just need to configure this entity data source for the connection string. Right, so the connection string which we have used, using that same connection string, we will be attaching the database table. This gave an error. Why this gave an error? Before you update anything on this form, you first need to build all the things so that everything gets compiled and is in place for you to so that your application can find everything. Right, so now if you go there, then it will be able to find out everything that it needs. Everything is in place, everything compiled. So it simply gets this student DB entity. This is the DB entity which has been mentioned in web.config. So this is displaying student data DB entity, and default container name is also a student data DB entity. Now do a next, and now it asks for the entity set name. Entity set name means the table name. Right, so now if you want to see like which data you are going, which column you want to show, then you can do like student data, student name and course, or if you want everything, then just select all. As of now, we are not going to insert, update or delete anything. We are just going to see that how we can use to display the data on the grid. So just do a finish here. Now your entity data source has been configured. Now attach this entity data source to this grid view, right? Which means that we are telling the grid view that from where you need to get the data. What will be the source for getting the data? Here we go. Now grid view knows that I need to get the data from the table which has been configured using entity data source, entity data source 1, right? So I have just provided it here. Okay, so just compile it and now just run it. When you will run it, every data which is there in the database table, that will be displayed to you. So this is the new form which is getting opened here. And all the records which are there in the database table, those should be displayed here. Okay, so you can see all the student ID, student name, student address, course, everything has been displayed here. Right, so this is the way you can use the schema first approach to use the entity framework. Right, so if in your project if there is a requirement that database tables are already there and you have to create a new application, a new utility application, then in that case you can use this approach, the schema first approach, right? So today we have discussed about the schema first approach. In the next video we will discuss about the entity first approach. Okay, so in entity first approach, what we will do, we will first create entity, we will just define the relationships, and then we will just create a new table, new entity set in the database, and then we will try to get and set the data from the database, right? So we will fetch the data using the entity first model in the next video. So till then, have a nice day, bye bye, and please like, share and subscribe my channel. Meet soon. So till then, have a nice day and bye bye.